So in campus, I was used to HTML, CSS. I'd started with PHP. But then when I went to that agency, I realized there was even a much more simpler way of developing and designing websites. That was the first time I learned about content management systems. That was 2008. So I got introduced to Joomla, which I used. In fact, my final project in campus, there was an area that I used Joomla. It was a portal. The front end, I used Joomla. I liked the simplified way of doing things with the CMSs. While using Joomla, I came to learn about WordPress.
Welcome to the WP Creators Corner, the podcast that brings you insights and stories from the vibrant WordPress community. I'm your host, Patrick Lumumba, and this is our second episode. Today, I'm happy to have with me Jesse Mwangi, a key figure in the WordPress Nairobi community. Jesse is not just a WordPress enthusiast. He is a computer science graduate who discovered his passion for web design during his university days. His journey with content management systems began with Joomla, but as we'll hear, a pivotal moment in 2016 led him to embrace WordPress fully. In this episode, we'll dive into Jesse's fascinating transition from Joomla to WordPress and explore his significant role in organizing WordPress Nairobi Meetups. As one of the co-organizers, Jesse has been instrumental in fostering a thriving WordPress community in Nairobi. We'll discuss the challenges and triumphs of organizing these meetups, the impact they have had on the local WordPress community, and Jesse's vision for the future of WordPress in Kenya. You'll also hear about the exciting upcoming WordCamp Nairobi 2024, which promises to be a highlight for the WordPress community. Jesse also shares valuable insights on how these meetups are bridging gaps, dispelling myths about WordPress, and opening up career opportunities for young developers in Kenya. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and join us for an inspiring conversation about WordPress, community building, and the exciting developments in the Nairobi tech scene. Without further ado, let's welcome Jesse to the WP Creators Corner. Jesse, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure too.
Yeah, so let's start with a bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And how did you get started with WordPress?
My name is Jesse Mwangi, and I'm a graduate of computer science. Graduated way back in 2010. And even before I graduated, I had an interest in web design. I remember the internship I got when I was in my third year. I got an internship in a web development agency. That's the place I had the first introduction to content management systems. The agency was using Joomla. So in campus, I was used to HTML, CSS. I'd started with PHP. But then when I went to that agency, I realized there was even a much more simpler way of developing and designing websites. That was the first time I learned about content management systems. That was 2008. So I got introduced to Joomla, which I used. In fact, my final project in campus, there was an area that I used Joomla. It was a portal. The front end, I used Joomla. I liked the simplified way of doing things with the CMSs. While using Joomla, I came to learn about WordPress. But since Joomla was serving me well for a long time, I didn't find the need of switching the CMSs like from Joomla to WordPress. After graduating, I started looking for jobs. In particular, the jobs I was getting, they were not IT related. So I realized I could be developing websites on my own, like a side hustle, apart from the jobs I was doing. I got my first client in 2011, a friend of mine, and I developed their site using Joomla. The turning point was in 2016.
Okay.
I had this website project, and the client was specific about how they wanted their site to look like. There was this design that had come up of one-page scrolling.
Yeah.
The websites that I was being given by the client as examples for inspiration are actually single-page websites, and I couldn't figure how I was going to implement that with Joomla. Then I remembered that I had seen a template that was a WordPress template talking about single-page scrolling. Instead of trying so hard to come up with something with Joomla, I decided, let me just install WordPress, install that theme, then use this particular template and see how it's going to be. I finished with the WordPress installation and everything. I customized the theme. When I woke up in the morning and sent him the link, he was very happy about it. So that's how I started. I started designing and developing with WordPress.
You're one of the co-organizers of the WordPress Nairobi Meetup. What actually inspired you to take on this role?
For me to join the WordPress Nairobi community, I remember even after starting using WordPress for a long time, I never joined the meetups. I could see them on my dashboard. When we organize meetups, it appears in the dashboard in every person who is developing a website, as let's say here in Nairobi.
Yes.
So like for me in 2016, I could see it. In fact, I could go there and find that they are being hosted by Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Then, so 2016, I never bothered. 2017, what happened in 2017? Actually, I had a number of websites, WordPress websites I was developing in 2017. And still, I was not interested with the meetups. Though then I was working in a bank, so time also wasn't really something I had in plenty. It never even crossed my mind to join a meetup. But then something interesting happened in early 2018. But there's a client I had in 2017, an e-commerce website, and I had struggled so much to integrate her site with M-Pesa payment. She wanted M-Pesa payment.
Yeah.
A meetup was organized with guys from Safaricom Daraja team, and there was this gentleman called Mauko.
Yeah.
He had come up with a plugin for M-Pesa payments. So in my dashboard, I could see something about a meetup in Nairobi. Those who would like to implement online payments, a solution has been found. That was a meeting I was not going to to miss at all.
Yeah.
So that was actually my first meetup. It was around was it May? I think it was around early. I think it was around May. We were presented. Emmanuel was there. He was the one who was conducting the meeting. Mauko told us about his plugin and how we could access it. The guys from Safaricom Daranja team also made a presentation. So from then, during the meeting, that's when I learned there are meetups where people meet and they discuss things WordPress. And I started now coming to meetups every now and then. So 2019, I continued coming to the meetups. I could see Emmanuel was the one who was, Emmanuel was so committed. He was always the one organizing them.
True.
Then 2020 came COVID. There were no more meetups. We had a few online ones, but it kind of came to a halt. Everything came to a halt.
Yeah.
So 2020, no much. Just normal conversation on WhatsApp, Slack, and we had like an online meetup, 1 or 2, and that was it. 2021 again, no much activity. So 2022, Emmanuel came back. He organized the meetup. That's when he told us, you guys, we can, join hands, help each other, assist with this organizing and all that. And I realized that is a good idea because it's something I can also assist with.
Yeah.
So that's exactly how I joined and started assisting with organizing WordPress Nairobi meetups.
Nice. That's quite an interesting story. I think it's very important to note that meetups are run by volunteers. People need to understand that
That is
they are run by volunteers, and anyone can come in and help with organizing these meetups.
absolutely.
Now, can you tell us about the first meetup you organized? What was it like?
The first meetup I organized was actually an online meetup. Emmanuel again requested me to help with organizing it, and so I came up with a topic of discussion for the day. I think it was about AI, and came up with the material to discuss, and it was successful. I think it had an attendance of about 15, 17 people thereabout.
Okay.
So that was my first meetup, and it was really successful and engaging. And I realized, I can do this. So the first physical meetup I organized, actually, it's not very long ago.
Yeah.
It's actually, was it April? Yeah.
April 2024.
Exactly.
Okay.
The first physical meetup.
Okay. Just to ask, you've talked about coming up with a topic for the meetup. How do you decide on the topics for each meetup?
We have co-organizers and people who assist with maybe even the WordCamp, for example. So we discuss on the topics that are likely to something that people may be interested to hear about. Something that especially a challenge people have. One interesting thing about WordPress is that the WordPress community is that at any given time, people are at different levels of learning.
True.
There's somebody who is starting now. There's somebody who started 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
There is also somebody who is there intermediate. They know, but they don't know so much, or they know how to use to build WordPress websites, but know very little about coding or about what goes on with plugins and all that.
Yeah.
So when coming up with a topic, we try to come up with a topic that will cut across. Okay, we cut across all these groups, because you narrow it too down, then it means you are going to only cater for very few people.
Yeah.
Also, researching online. Most of these topics, you find that people are already talking about them online.
Yeah.
In forums, in WordPress forums, and even in
Stack Overflow. Yeah.
Yes. So you find that there is a certain problem, like hosting, for example. You find that's one of the topics we have covered a lot. Something to do with the SEO. Most of the time it is the challenges that people are facing that help you to come up with a good topic.
Nice. Now, talking about these topics, in your view, right? How have these meetups impacted the local WordPress community? These meetups helped the local WordPress community in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the few meetups already we have had this year, somebody will come and tell me that, hey, this topic, you have really helped us. We have really been able to understand these things that we do not know. Some of them could be employees of an agency, and maybe they are the ones who are tasked in implementing, and yet they are not well equipped. There are also those ones who maybe they have just started getting clients and they have all these challenges. So it has impacted them. In fact, I find some of them, to the extent that they don't miss meetups. I'm almost sure that there are those common faces. I'm almost sure they are going to show up because they have seen how the meetups have been assisting them.
That's nice. Actually, my next question was actually going to be about you, if you have had any, success stories from the participants who have benefited from attending these meetups, but you've already talked about that. It
Yeah,
seems these meetups are very, very, very much helpful to the local WordPress community.
absolutely.
So like when organizing the meetups, do you like ensure that you have the physical meetups and the online meetups, or you only go one way? Which one is effective, online or physical?
And the best is hybrid. We have also had a challenge of venue,
Yeah.
which is something that we are already working on.
Okay.
Because also having a venue in a central place we'll up the numbers of physical meetups, like how we had a venue in Nairobi CBD.
Yes.
You see, as for online meetups, the numbers have been roughly more or less the same, because 10 to 20 people in a physical meetup, online meetup, sometimes 10 to 20, sometimes slightly more than 20. So they are roughly more or less the same, but I believe what we can continue having both physical and online, because sometimes there are people who may not be able to come to the physical meetups for one reason or the other. But then again, physical meetups are still important because they help us to get to know and interact. Also, something like WordCamp, we expect people to show up physically. So if we are not having physical meetups, that would be also a challenge. So yeah, I think both of them are very important.
In my opinion, physical meetups are very important in the sense that the people who work in tech tend to be introverted, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And they mostly don't know who to interact with because most people don't understand them, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
these physical meetup kind of, provide an avenue for them to meet like-minded people that they can interact with.
yeah, yeah,
And I've been to a number of meetups, especially the WordPress meetups, and you find that during these meetups, People talk. You don't know so and so, but you find people talk and they don't even know each other. They are meeting for the first time, but they talk like they have known each other for like years.
yeah,
So, so,
true.
so I believe that the physical meetups are very important, especially for the people who are in the tech space.
Absolutely.
You've talked about the venue challenge, getting the venue for the meetup. So that's one of the challenges,
Yes,
right?
it has been a challenge,
Yeah.
but I was notified of support that we can get from Central.
Okay.
So I'll be sending an email. In fact, I'm looking for a venue right now as we speak. Today, I must get a venue and be able to communicate back to Central.
That would be great. That would be great. Okay. So
Yes.
other than that, what other challenges have you faced while organizing these meetups?
The biggest challenge has been attendance,
Okay.
because the WordPress group, the Meetup group on meetup.com, we have over 2,000 people.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we don't get these numbers when we organize a meetup. That is one of the things that I'm actually talking with the fellow organizers, including a gentleman from Automatic,
Yeah.
to see how we can be able to reach out and maybe also make these things more interesting by having some items, even some enticing things
Swag or
like
something, no?
swag, yeah.
Yeah.
So because the attendance has been okay since COVID days,
Yeah.
but even before COVID days. But then again, back then we used to think maybe it was the venue. The venue used to be a long gong road.
Yeah.
And like I told you, people, when you are, the location is not somewhere very accessible, people tend to have an excuse for not coming.
True.
There is something that is in the works to look for ways and of reaching more people who can show up,
Yeah.
especially representatives of agencies, because most likely majority of agencies in this country, they use WordPress.
True.
And these are the people maybe we can be able to interact with, be able to grow each other. So it's really important. The biggest challenge is attendance, and that is something we are actually working on.
Hey there, WP Creators Corner listeners. Are you enjoying the show? If so, we'd love for you to join our growing community of WordPress enthusiasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to WP Creators Corner on your favorite podcast platform. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and even YouTube. To make it super easy for you, we've put all the subscription links in one place. Just head over to wpcorner/podcast/subscribe and choose your preferred platform. And hey, if you're finding value in our conversations, why not spread the love? Your ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify not only make us do a happy dance, but also help other WordPress creators discover the show. It takes just a minute, but it means the world to us and helps us grow this amazing community. Thanks for being an awesome listener. Now, let's get back to our exciting conversation with Jesse. You've been organizing these meetups for some time now, and
Yes.
Being that it's something that is voluntary, it's very easy for one to backslide, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, what exactly keeps you motivated to continue organizing these meetups?
One of the things that motivates me actually is I see what is happening in Europe, what is happening in Asia, what's happening in United States of America, and even in our neighboring country, Uganda.
Yeah.
So the growth of the community is good for all of us. One, we gain so much from WordPress, something we get for free.
Yeah.
And giving back is the right thing to do. And for me, I have chosen to give back through community, helping to popularize WordPress. Actually, WordPress is actually very popular in Kenya.
Yeah.
The issue is just having guys come, be able to know that they can contribute to WordPress, be able to know that there's a lot they can do with WordPress.
True.
This has been a notion, especially among developers, that WordPress is for novices. WordPress is for people who don't know to code. WordPress is for, it's not for serious projects. Yeah. I would really like to fight that notion and to see more people actually making careers from WordPress. Yeah, because there are a lot of jobs, even remote jobs, that our youth in this country can be able to take advantage of if they knew that this is a very important opportunity that they can get. Like you find there are jobs for WordPress developers, plugin developers, WordPress designers, WordPress, but people are not aware of that. And the reason and that's why they keep on, maybe not taking advantage of the opportunities that are very much open for them. So this is something I would really like to be at the forefront, helping to make it come to fruition.
Nice. People say that, just like you'd said, people say that WordPress is for the. Actually, some of them, especially programmers, say that WordPress is for the lazy.
Yeah.
But you wait until they are given a project to implement with WordPress. That's when they now start
Yes.
saying that really here you have to get to learn some stuff.
Absolutely. Like React developers, PHP developers, those are all people, JavaScript developers, those are all people who should actually be realizing that WordPress is a very important tool even for their work.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want you to give us a picture. What are your future plans for the WordPress Nairobi Meetup? Are there any exciting events or projects coming up?
Yes, the most important event coming up actually will be the WordCamp that will be happening in October, that first,
Okay.
between October 30th to November 1st.
Yeah.
And that it will be very exciting. It will be 3 days, and there will be a lot of engagements. We are still in the organizing stage, but definitely this is going to be the highlight of the year.
Okay.
And as we look for a very good venue to have the meetups, we are looking forward to have more engaging topics. In fact, one of the most important thing that is going to happen is that there are so many people who have been asking to make presentations to us. Yeah. So we'll be looking for a venue that has very good audiovisual, so that those guys who have been asking how they can be able to assist, even maybe by being speakers in our meetups, we can be able to engage them and have them speak to us, because these are people who have been in the industry for a long time and they have achieved a lot, and they can share a lot of insights that can help us as WordPress Nairobi.
I'm really looking forward to WordCamp Nairobi 2024. I'm already excited about this.
Yeah. It promises to be a great event,
Yeah.
and definitely will be a great event.
Now, for the folks that are listening right now, who might be interested in joining WordPress Nairobi Meetup, what is the process of becoming a member? What are the platforms that they can be able to join, or even to keep up with what is happening in the WordPress Nairobi community?
Okay, for those who would like to join, just go to meetup.com and search for WordPress Nairobi.
Okay.
You can be able to just search for WordPress Nairobi, and there you will be able to join WordPress Nairobi. Then we can be able to send you communication of our meetings and any other event that we have as WordPress Nairobi.
Okay, you talked about a WhatsApp group where
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So again, how to get to that WhatsApp group?
Okay, I think you'll get me the link, and I'll have it in the show notes.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, I have a few rapid fire questions for you. Just say the first.
Yes.
Just say the first thing that comes to mind. Don't overthink. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The first question: what's your favorite WordPress plugin?
Yoast.
Okay. One WordPress feature you can't live without.
Theme editor.
Okay. One Chrome extension that you can't live without.
One Chrome extension I can't live without. Code inspector.
Okay. Your go-to resource for WordPress news and updates. Could be a blog, could be a newsletter, could be, where do you get your news from?
Called what? These are what? There are several, but one of them is the Elemental blog.
Okay. Another one. Best advice you've received about WordPress.
Always backup.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Always take your
Yeah.
backups. And
Yes.
lastly, a WordPress project you are most proud of.
I have several, but I can talk of a recent one called Jasper Florist.
Okay.
This is my customer who has been getting online orders, and so far I'm happy with how he's doing his business.
Nice. Okay, so Jesse, that's it. It has been fantastic having you on the show. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that wraps up our conversation with Jesse. I hope you found his insights into the WordPress Nairobi community as inspiring as I did. Before we sign off, I want to thank you, our listeners, for tuning in to this second episode of WP Creators Corner. Your support means everything to us, and we are thrilled to have you on this journey exploring the world of WordPress. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Your feedback not only helps us improve, but also helps other WordPress enthusiasts discover our podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. For easy access to all our subscription links, just visit wp.corner/podcast/subscribe. We've got more exciting episodes lined up for you. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until then, keep creating, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with WordPress. This is Patrick Lumumba, signing off from the WP Creators Corner. See you next time.